Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 9 recap, and we're going to talk about the Negan and Alpha bond. A lot of stuff happened in this episode. I know the cave is a big topic of conversation, the trapped group in the cave with Magna and Connie, but I think the big thing everybody's been talking about all day long is this the Negan Alpha scene. I mean, we knew it was coming down, but I think it was the context of how it went down, the lead up to it, the negotiation, the Negan turning in the spy, the walkout, to the walkout in the woods. We're going to go through all of that today. I apologize for the thumbnail, but it gets a little bit better. It gets even better than that because we got to have pictures up here. Let me give a shout out to the Patreon Army. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. You guys see them up there. I got a few more people that we need to add to that list. Very own Deadly Dimes is going up there on the list. B-Dub is going up there on the list. So thank you so much for all of you guys and your support. Great group, and just proud to be with you guys talking about The Walking Dead every single night. So we're going to jump over to something that, all right, I got to put it up on the screen just because. So, yeah, this was the walk out to the woods. I don't want to leave this too long because if there's one thing that was worse than the kiss, it might have been this. So I'll just brief flash. It's not like R-rated or anything. I mean, it's shoulders only. But yeah, let's move on to, there we go. How about that? We've got Negan having a casual conversation with Alpha. So Negan and Alpha having the talk. So we did a little bit of the reaction last night. Today we're going to do a little bit of the recap. So I saw a couple Patreon posts. What is your impression of Negan now? Did anything last night change your viewpoint of Negan? Or do you still think, nope, he's got his agenda and he's just kind of going with the flow? And I'm going to read a couple of our Patreon comments as well because I asked them the question of what was really exciting about last night. So, low standards, says Trigger. Did you think he had high standards before? I mean, I thought he's always had low standards. So nothing really shocked me about him. Cruel says Negan will save people when he has someone to save. Yep, and if he doesn't, he'll save himself. Beggars can't be choosers. Lynn Nesvik doesn't trust Negan, never did. Anna, torn, wanted to believe it, but it is disgusting. Didn't shock me. It didn't shock me either. Takes what he can get. Gemstone, Alpha, and Negan are a great match. Well, there's a lot of similarities there. So I did ask the question, and I want to get a couple thoughts in here. So in addition to the Negan, I think that was the biggest shocker. But some of our patrons, and I want you guys, if you wouldn't mind commenting on this. So this is Moonshot. It's Jason Phillips, one of my patrons. Says, one of the biggest moments seeing Daryl turn into Rick. I know Daryl has pretty much been the leader, but last night he became Rick in my eyes at least. You guys agree with that? You think that there was, in the cave when they were desperate, that Daryl really, he took charge. But, you know what? When they got out of the cave, I certainly thought Moonshot that he went back to being Daryl. So, I think when, maybe there's a similarity in a weird sort of way between Negan and Daryl. Hold on for a minute. Let me kind of walk through this. So, Daryl is uncomfortable being a leader, and when he has to be, he steps up, and then when, he knows the group's in a good place, he's okay with, deferring. And Negan is okay being the bad guy, but then when somebody's truly getting taken advantage of, he can't contain himself, and he has to do the right thing. So, and I do think that's where we're going to get with Negan. I don't hate him any more than I mean, I didn't hate him coming into this episode. I don't like him any less because of what happened with Alpha. I just kind of expected it. We got June Smith in the house shouting out the Army. Hello, Army. Kills mods. Life is back to normal. Being here with everybody. Thanks so much, June. Appreciate that. It does. It does feel kind of normal, right? We had a reaction. We had a countdown last night, a reaction, and now we're really getting into breaking down The Walking Dead. So I'm going to read a couple more comments and certainly get your thoughts, your feedback. I do want to just take a quick kind of commercial interruption. We will be streaming our very own game we created called Play Dead Live. That's going to be at 9 o'clock tonight. If you guys want to hang out, you want to check out some PvP battles, real-time, turn-based role-playing. That's what we spend a lot of our time doing. We're not talking about the dead. Tomorrow night, we're going to be at a little bit later time, but it's going to be talking about The Walking Dead, and that's going to be 9:30. Wednesday night, we're going to do an early stream and a late stream as well. And then Thursday night, we're going to release spoilers. So we got Walking Dead every single night, but a couple nights this week, we're actually going to be doing some gaming. So hopefully you guys, if you guys like gaming or you like hanging out, then check out both. Tammy Deadly Dimes agrees with Jason. You know, when I just said the Rick. He says, Daryl's awesome. I loved it at the end when you could feel the conflict between his inner Rick and needing just to be Daryl. Much like saying this, I also loved the Negan Alpha dynamic. So not everybody was completely turned off by it. And look, I'm not saying you're turned on by it, but not everybody was turned off by Negan and Alpha. Now, I could see, and I didn't entertain this question earlier, Negan might not know what he's going to do yet, but there's a third possibility. Maybe he knows that he could really, really break Beta by getting to Alpha. What do you think about that? That maybe Negan's not necessarily looking out for the Alexandria group, and maybe he's not committing to being a whisperer, but he also knows that he can cause some problems just by them allowing him to be himself. Negan's like that drunk uncle that just doesn't go away, right? On Saturday Night Live, the drunk uncle. I think that's Negan. And once, the Whispers are very loyal. So as long as he doesn't betray them, he's kind of allowed to come in and incite his drama and his paranoia. Basically what Alpha said. Edward Miller, yo Kills, I made it to a live stream. How are you? I've been here for like 2 years. Love listening in. Usually have to catch it at work and miss some live, but listen Monday through Friday. Thanks so much, Edward Miller. Appreciate that. We got, we've had several people actually chime in and catch a live stream. So I'm glad the times are working. We are giving you guys some early times and some late times, but certainly drop us a line and say something live in chat. Hang out with us, and I love this group, man. This group is like a big family. So appreciate that. Evil Tracy says he's getting Alpha in a vulnerable spot, then cut her throat, taking her head off. If I pause at that point every time, Tracy, only because, one, I'm still not sure that Alpha is going to get her comic death. But if she does, I'm not sure it's going to be Negan. And if it is Negan, I feel like something has to happen where he does it for Carol. I know it's like a three-pronged theory. But, and in the comic, when Negan cuts Alpha's head off and says, hey, wait till Rick sees this, I could see him doing it because Carol couldn't do it, but there's just not that Negan-Carol connection right now. So I almost need to see a little more story to sort of jump on that 100%, because Carol deserves the kill. She absolutely deserves it. And everything that she's going through, if she doesn't get it and someone else does steal it from her, there's got to be a tie-in to it. Hippo says they should both be there. Anna says Carol hurts her, but Negan takes her head. Now, I know this is going to be twisted, but if this played out, I mean, this would be Spark, right? I mean, this would be lit, crazy, crazy madness. Any chance that Carol hurts Lydia to get back at Alpha? Any chance that Carol would The Walking Dead go that dark? I know the first response is no, it can't happen. We like Lydia. But think about this for a minute. Would Carol, in her crazy madness, do something to get back at Alpha? I mean, that would hurt her, right? That would hurt her like beyond compare. We've got Deadly Dime super chatting and said, Negan is going for the heart of the Whisperers, break Alpha and Beta apart. Then what holds them together as a pack is gone. But is he, Dimes? I mean, it sounds brilliant. I mean, from our standpoint, that sounds like a great plan. I'm not disagreeing, Dimes, with the fact it would be a good plan. But from what I've seen so far, I just don't feel like he's calculating it. That everything that we're basing that on is based on nothing that we've seen. We have seen nothing to tip that hand. Not even you know what? There's only one thing. And you know what? I'm going to give a Kills coin for Freestyle Friday night. There's one unanswered question that we still need to find out, and that would make the Negan theory make sense. And the first person that can answer it, I will give you a Kills coin. If you don't know what a Kills coin is, it's free super chat during our Freestyle Friday. We got Gemstone. It says, Carol to Lydia, look at the flowers. Absolutely. Jack Carr is the first person to get it. So, Kels, let's start that ledger. Let's give a Kills coin to Jack Carr. What Jack Carr said ties into Deadly Dimes. The only thing that makes sense for Negan to be calculating against Alpha right now is the fact that we don't know who let him out of prison. That's the only thing at this point. That's the gray area that we don't have the answer to. Otherwise, every single action he's taken is to get away from Alexandria, to never come back, to leave those people that wanted to kill him. Because where we left Negan, he was at his deathbed. The next morning, they were killing him. And somebody let him out. Now, if someone let him out, either there's a subplot to what's going on, or there's an obligation to pay them back for his freedom. Yeah, but the problem with Daryl doing it, and I'm going back, like I've only watched the episode once. Daryl was the one knocking on the door, right? Like Negan got out. So that would be some pretty serious acting to go through that whole charade of Negan got out, somebody let him out. It felt more like Father G. It just felt like Father G for some reason. See, this is kind of funny, right? Diana Rainey says Negan let him out. And then Anna Smith says, not Daryl. Then other people said Daryl. But then some other people are saying Father G. See, that's what's crazy about it right now. Like, this is like who shot JR. So the question is, who let Daryl out? And here's the bigger, maybe not the bigger question, but here's the bigger call out on that. We kind of forgot about it. I mean, we didn't forget about it, but we kind of put it to the side, right? Because all the other stuff that's going on. Oh my God, they're stuck in a cave. Wait a minute. Beta's going to come through the grave, and now he's going to wreak havoc on Alexandria. We saw the minutes last night of how Beta gets in. And then we got this Negan and Alpha thing going on. So the question is like right now, is okay, yeah, Negan, why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? But the master plan is still in play as long as there's a partner, or could be Aaron Ecom. I mean, that's a possibility. So you've got Aaron, you got Carol, you got Father G. Yeah, see, that's a little cloudy. So, yeah, it's almost like a bait and switch. Like there's all these other things going on. Oh, I'm pretty sure that was Beta, Ben. In Talking Dead last night, the sneak peek. That was Beta that reached his hand up through that grave, and then that's the way he got in. That whole thing collapsed. Yeah, it was Beta. That was not Cheryl's hand. Beta's hand comes up, the grave sinks down, and Beta's hand comes up, and then he jumps up and then pulls out his knives. That was from last night's sneak peek. Bones. Maybe Negan got someone's word for acceptance if he helped Alexandria. Yeah, it was legit. It was legit, Ben. You got to check that out. I mean, he comes up through there, bam, he's got his knives. Amy, I like that. I will say this, though. It's a big, big plot opening. I don't like the word plot hole. But behind the scenes that as viewers that we missed out on. So I don't know if it's going to go that far of Negan had a handshake deal, or if you do this, we're going to accept you in the community. Honestly, I don't think they're going to accept him in the community regardless. I think they're at a point of no return. Even if he is the one that kills Alpha, I don't know that he wants to come back. I really see some challenges with that. Doesn't mean that it can't happen. Doesn't mean that it didn't happen. But it's just kind of a big story, right? Hey, I'll let you out, you do this. And I know they can't show all of it. I know they can't tell the whole story. But kind of like the Dante thing. So, we had all this speculation and what was going on with Dante, but then when they told it in flashbacks, it kind of made a little bit of sense. Well, the Negan thing could too. But if I had to guess, of all the people and all the connections, I would think that Aaron is the one that let him go. I think Aaron had a change of heart. Negan could have abandoned Aaron altogether. I agree with you, Ecom. I think that what they went through, Aaron was pissed off about it. He voted him down. And then he had a change of heart and realized this guy could have left me out there when I was blinded, and he didn't. So I think that Aaron is the one. And there will be a little bit more of a story. Maybe not the whole thing, but I think a little bit more of a conversation between the two of them. Morgan's a time traveler. Lets Negan out, confirmed. Hey, be careful. Be careful. It's going to end up on someone's title tomorrow. I mean, I think Carol's too far gone right now to be calculating a plan with Negan. I think Daryl legitimately was watching Lydia and didn't see it happen. And I think Aaron can just kind of make his ways wherever he wants to go. Maybe Aaron's maybe he's got like a lock-picking device on his fake hand. He takes kind of like that ball and chain off, and then he's got a lock picker. Bam, bam, bam. Let him out, and just put it right back on. It's good. It's Aaron, confirmed. Angie Homan, thank you for being here. Made it here. How about last night's show? I thought it was great. Now, I'm gonna ask all of you guys again, because I did have a couple people message me and do some posts on our fan page, and there were a couple people said, "Look, I didn't like it. It was a little too disgusting for me. It's a little too overboard. The cave scene wasn't what I thought." I don't agree with that. I thought it was good. I gave it a 9. But I'm gonna ask you guys again, and I know there's always some build up because it's episode number 1. There's the hype factor. But after you guys had a day to think about it, give me a number 1 to 10. Let me know where you guys stand after one day. And by the way, we are going to be talking about this episode tomorrow night at 9:30. We're going to do an extended breakdown. And then on Wednesday night, we're going to do our bold predictions for this coming up week for Sunday night. And then on Thursday, we're going to talk spoilers. So we got Ecom. Ecom super chatting says, Aaron could have said, "I'll save your life like you did mine, but you can't come back. You're banished." That was the old system we first met. I think that makes a lot of sense, Ecom. That makes a lot of sense that I'm going to let you out, but you got to leave. Just get out. Go do something right. Now, if Ecom is right, and if the group that's saying Aaron is right, then I'm going to go back to Deadly Dimes and also Amy's super chats and tie all those together and say yes, right? Because there's one line that I want to leave you guys with. I don't have it exact, but I'll quote it in a second. So a lot of people, 9s. June Smith, so are we looking at Michonne leaving Judith with Negan? Or are we still hoping Negan is going to be the good guy in the end? I think Michonne is leaving Judith with Daryl. And I really, June, and I may be wrong on this. I don't know if Negan's coming back next year. I really don't. I know he's a big draw. I know people love him, and I know he's a great actor, and he's got some other movie projects going on. I just kind of see a situation where he walks away from it as they go to Commonwealth. I think they'll have some good momentum going into Commonwealth. I know some spoilers. I'm not gonna talk about them in this stream, but I know some details of how the season ends. And without giving too much away, it doesn't seem to end with Negan being a big part of that, if that makes sense. I'm not saying that's set in stone. I'm just saying it makes sense for him to do something else and not be a part of the Daryl, Carol, Maggie situation. I would disagree with that, Kel. I'm just saying the information that I have leans more toward a story that could go on without Negan in it. So I wouldn't bet on him staying strongly, and I wouldn't bet on him leaving strongly. I would kind of hold my ground because I can see it play out either way. But if I had to lean one way or the other, based on slight information, I would lean that he might not be here next season. So, with that being said, we're going to wind this down just in a couple minutes. We can disagree, but I have more information than you do. So, there. What do you think about that? As we tie in the Negan situation and whether or not he's calculating something behind the scenes, there's something that Aaron said that should resonate with everybody here. Do you guys remember right before Aaron was blinded? Aaron, and I'm gonna ad-lib in so many words. Aaron said to Negan, "You never cared about anybody except yourself. You've never done anything for this group," right? Something along those lines. It wasn't exactly what he said, but I think that was the dagger. I think that's the part where if there was a deal between Aaron and Negan, and then after that, Negan helped Aaron, and potentially Aaron could have been the one to let him out. So that could be the moment that I want you guys to go back and reflect on. That if Negan is there betraying Alpha and trying to bring down the Whisperers, it's because that Aaron basically told him he's never cared about anyone except himself, and you don't care about these people in Alexandria. So this could be something that he is making a huge, huge sacrifice and putting himself at risk, strutting in there, sleeping with the leader. I mean, that could have ended up poorly for him. Now, we look at Negan and say, hey, that's just Negan, but could it be part of his long plan? Yeah, it could. I still think he's torn because he has some freedom, but I can definitely say that if there's a deal, it's probably with Aaron, not Daryl, not Carol, not Father G. With that being said, everybody, we're going to wind the stream down. We are 27 minutes in. I want to thank all of you guys for being here. We're going to keep a little bit short in these early streams because we want people to get a chance to watch the playback. If you guys want an extended breakdown, be here tomorrow night at 9:30. We will take it to a whole different level in breaking down the cave scene, some of the things that you might have saw. Jerry holding up the cave, what potentially could happen with Magna and also Connie. Will they survive? Will they not survive? Later on in the week, we're going to talk a little bit about Michonne. Big news this season, right? We haven't even got to talking about Michonne yet. So a lot of fun, and if you guys are gamers, be here tonight at 9 o'clock. Hang out with us, and you'll witness a little bit of wackiness, a little bit of craziness. And I'm going to ask everybody, do me a big favor. Hit that like button on the way out the door. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe to us. Hit the bell, and the bell will remind you every time we stream. So if you're confused, like when are we going at 7, when we're going at 9:30, it's always going to let you know. I'll see a lot of you guys at 9 o'clock for Play Dead Live PvP. Have a good night, everybody. Peace.